Hello, this is Greg Allison from Green Greg's Garden and Worm Farm. I'm going to show you today how to make worm tea on a larger scale. I've already showed you in a video how to make it in a 5-gallon bucket. I'll show you how I brew it in my 55-gallon olive barrels. So now I'm going to show you how to brew it on a larger scale. I'm brewing about 250 gallons and a 270-gallon tote here. Here is my worm casting bags. Actually, that one is worm castings and that's worm compost. I got them tied off. I'm going to lower them into this tote. This tote is a tote that I had set up to do water dechlorination. There's some trash fell in it. I will clean that out as it floats to the top. And this water coming in here has to be dechlorinated. I've got to order tomorrow, so I need for this to brew 24 hours before the order is to be filled. I'm pumping water in here. It's unchlorinated. There are two bags that I have tied off here. One of them has worm castings and one's worm compost. I put them right over the air bubblers. I've got some really large air stones in there, and I've got this large air pump over there at the base of my greenhouse pumping the air in. And I'm about to pour in some of this good old molasses. And I'm going to have to, when this water floats up high enough, I'm going to get all this pine straw and junk out of here. It should float up and I should be able to grab it at the end rather than me having to crawl down inside of this tote where all this stuff's been falling. Greg, why don't you put a cover on it? Yeah, that's a good idea. I will next time. Thanks for suggesting that. In the meantime, I'm going to show lots of videos on worms, worm products, gardening, raising plants indoors and outdoors, how that you can survive by eating from the trees and the weeds, and all kind of good prepping and gardening topics, and a lot of topics about why you should do this. I cover a lot of things, or like topics about keeping your eyes open, your head on a swivel. So my main objective is to help you to thrive, survive, and stay out of the hive. Now please subscribe to my channel if you've not already done so, and bang the update notification bell. And double check, YouTube's got a tendency to unsubscribe and unbang people. So you don't want unbang, right? Also, please support my channel. Check the links below to greengregs.com, www.greengregs.com, or greengregswormfarm.com. If you want worms, I sell worms. I ship them year-round all over the United States, not outside. That includes Puerto Rico and Hawaii and Alaska. Yes, I've shipped worms there. And please also look at my Patriot Supplies, because I'm expecting food prices to skyrocket given shortages. I've talked about that in other videos. You can get 25 years long-term storage food for about $6 a day. Can't beat that right now. I don't expect to stay that cheap for long. About $2 a mil if you get a year's supply. To grow your own garden, you want heirloom seeds. So please check True Leaf Market below. You can also get all your supplies for growing microgreens indoors. And no, you actually don't need a grow light. So I'll cover that more in the future. Anyway, here we go. Here's the rest of the video. You have to use dechlorinated water with worm tea. Chlorine will kill the active bacteria, which makes it good. It's the active bacteria that makes the plants grow. See my video on worm tea. And I'm pumping this. I robbed my pump out of my swamp cooler here, which I'll cover in a future video. Actually, I've already done it. I just need to post it. And this is coming out of, this pump is down here on my aquaponics grow beds. And there's no plants in that panel, but which is probably good right now. So what that does is it gives me a good source for unchlorinated water. I've got 5,000 gallons in that system, so sparing 250 gallons is not going to be a big deal, and I can re-dechlorinate water and pump it back in there as needed. So here's the cool thing. This water is already nutrient laden because it's coming out of the aquaponics. So this should be really good water, and I can already smell the syrup in there. I'm going to go buy more because I'm feeding such a large quantity here, and I want the bacteria to really pop in the morning. I'll turn all that off in a minute. Anyway, in a nutshell, there's how you can brew 250 gallons or better. You can get 330-gallon totes. I'm planning to actually set up several of these so I can brew like 1,000 gallons a week next spring. I forgot these pumps will backsop, and I had this thing totally full, and I unplugged the pump, but I forgot to pull it out of the water. Yeah, these things will backsop, and I've had this happen before, but I just forgot about it. So I had this thing totally full up, and it emptied on me, partially. So it's in the process of backsopping. So I'm going to pump more in again, and I'm going to take that pump out of the aquaponics system. Good grief. So I guess the aquaponics is going to get a little bit of molasses and some other good stuff. But anyway, I'm going to add some more molasses in here and get this thing full up. Yeah, I'm going to feed this bacteria well because I want this stuff to grow fast. And molasses is actually a really good nutrition. Some people add it to the garden, so it's good to add this to the worm tea. And I'm going to come up with something to cover this thing over with, like the lid I cut off of this thing originally. So I got to pull this pine straw out a little bit. These bottles are 12 fluid ounces. You got to use unsulfured. I mentioned this in my other video, unsulfured, because you don't want to kill the bacteria. Sulfur is a preservative add to molasses. It will kill bacteria to preserve it, but for this purpose you got to use unsulfured molasses. And 12 fluid ounces, you know, just a little shy of a pint. So I've added about 4 pints in here. Which makes a couple of quarts, about a half gallon of molasses. That's a lot. For 5 gallons, I mean, I wouldn't add this much normally for upkeep, but I'm trying to brew this fast. For 5 gallons, I would only put, you know, maybe just a couple tablespoons. But I covered that in the other video. Please watch the other video. This is what the worm tea looks like brewing. It's not been a day yet. It's got a lot of bubbles on here. This will be ready this afternoon though. Of course you get air bubbles, but they pop. The bubbles that stay and remain should be as a result of metabolic activity within the tea itself. It's 250 gallons. So hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my channel, bang the update notification bell, and thank you for watching.